airlifted them to Japan, if they sent them to Japan in airplanes, the price would go from a few cents to many dollars per pound.
Tsukiji Market in Tokyo is the biggest fish market in the world. Tuna fishermen don't accept the bluefin numbers are right down, but most scientists firmly believe that they are. Many people want bluefin tuna listed as CITES Appendix 1, in other words, a total ban on all fishing of them. Unless this is done, there is no way the fishermen, the wholesalers, everybody involved in the market will give up. There's simply too much in it for them. This market is not just about tuna. There's every conceivable type of fish here. Nearly 50% of the food eaten in Japan comes from the sea, compared to the world's average of about 15%. They eat enormous quantities of fish, every species imaginable. But unfortunately, some of those species are in deep trouble. This is a swordfish. In the Atlantic, its numbers have more than halved since the 1960s. As a result, many restaurants have now taken it off the menu. Marlin are a favourite amongst game fishermen, and some species are down by 90%. While shark meat is on sale in many Japanese markets, by far the biggest trade is in shark fins, and that trade is Asia-wide. About 100 million sharks are caught every year. Admittedly, this is the biggest market, but there are hundreds of markets all over the world selling huge quantities of fish. And it's not just one day a week, it's day after day after day. You might find some really strange creatures here, ones which are totally unfamiliar to us. But that's not the issue. It's often the more common species that are seriously threatened, and those you can find on sale at home. This is Billingsgate Market, the largest fish market in London. Here you can buy all the familiar fish which we love to eat. But in the UK, every day we're eating fish whose stocks are dangerously low. Most of us have no idea that these fish are in trouble, even the most common ones, such as cod.
At the moment, the worst problem is with cod in the Irish Sea, which is really in a very, very depressed state indeed. The northeast Arctic stock off the coast of Norway is not in very good shape. The Canadian stock is not in good shape. The North Sea stock is not in good shape. About the only one that's doing reasonably well at the moment is Iceland. And if that one goes the same way, there will be no Atlantic cod. There simply will not be any cod for sale.
So is this a normal size for a cod these days?
It's about an average size now, yeah.
When you go and buy fish in the supermarket or in the fish and chip shop, you generally, as a consumer, have no way to tell whether this has come from a stock that is overfished or a stock that isn't.
And where are these ones from?
They're from Aberdeen.
Well, from the North Sea?
Yeah, that's right.
We know that fish stocks do collapse, and sometimes they recover. The herring collapsed and recovered. There was a stock of mackerel in the North Sea in the 60s and 70s that collapsed under very heavy fishing pressure by purse seiners, and it has not come back. In 30 years, it has not come back. Sole and the place are fully exploited and could not really sustain any further fishing pressure. The herring also is fully exploited. There's no room for expansion.
Now, with so much fishing pressure in surface waters, fishermen are going deeper and deeper to find fish for the market. We're seeing things here that we would never even have heard of 20 years ago. This is a black scabbard, and it lives at about 1,000 meters. So, these fish in trouble? It's hard to say, really, because like everything else that lives in the deep, very little is known about it. And that's the problem with deep-sea fishing. The scientists don't really know what's going on down there, and they're only just beginning to find out.